Hello and welcome to another Exo Heroes Hero Spotlight. Today we're going to be looking at Bernavas, or Bernavas, the guardian of the great patriarch of Bronze Daughter. A quick overview, Bernavas is a CC heavy tank with low to medium mana cost. He'll find the most use in PvP and dragon-based content like Holy Dragon Grounds due to his passive. He's a fated hero with a machine element, in the defense position with a physical attack type. So now why don't we go ahead and take a look at his skills.
Alright, so let's start with Bernavas' basic attack. So like everyone else, it does about 428 to 513 damage to a single target. Nothing special there. His A1, it does 150% damage to one enemy, and also applies the shock status effect to the target for 3 turns. His A2 is Thunderbolt Slash, which deals 105% damage to all back row enemies, and also apply to those targets the shock status effect for 5 turns. And lastly, let's take a look at his passive. So his passive starts with Thrust 3, which deals 30% damage and stuns the attacker for 5 turns upon taking damage, and also grants him 1 mana additionally if the target's HP is higher than 80%, and also he removes 1 mana from the target and gains 1 mana himself if the target's HP is lower than 30%. And lastly, as a hero that's focused on Dragon, he has a Dragon Knight Blessing passive as well, which increases damage dealt to dragons with the Dragon Scale of Order activated by 250%. So overall, as you can see, he's useful in many parts of the game, and also he's very useful in the Dragon area as well. So let's take a look at how exactly can we best utilize his potential.
So looking at his kit, the passive has some stuns, and both of his actives have a stun effect as well. So he strikes me as more of a disruption tank, and I feel like that's his niche, where he interrupts setups and priority targets when they're about to use powerful moves or buff their team. His low mana cost A1 makes it very spammable, and it's good to use when you need to interrupt someone in the front line or a priority target, but you don't have enough mana for A2. He kind of reminds me of Shufrakin in a way, where he has backline targeting CC, only he lacks a sustain and extra synergies with any other hero, but I think that he's also a lot more beginner friendly in that he doesn't rely on these other fated hero synergies, as well as reliable in that both of his skills do have hard CC, so you always know if I'm going to attack, I'm going to be stunning someone. Now why don't we go ahead and talk about his Fate Core.
Alright, now let's take a look at the Fate Core version of Bernavas. So overall, it's very simple. He doesn't really have a lot of additional added components through his Fate Core. The only change to Bernavas is he gets an additional passive, which in this case is Barrier of Will. So what he does is when Bernavas loses 70% or more of his maximum health in 1 turn, he gets a buff immediately in that turn, which allows him to reduce damage received by 50% for 2 turns. So essentially when he received the 70% damage, he actually only takes 35%. But after 2 turns, it increases all the damage he receives by 30% for the next 3 turns. So overall, it's a passive that's useful to mitigate the immediate burst damage, but does put Bernavas at a slight disadvantage for the next few turns. So overall, that's it from us on Bernavas. So like Ed mentioned earlier, he's a very straightforward champion. Although on paper he doesn't seem to be incredibly amazing compared to the likes of Shufrakin or Garth, but overall, what he brings is a relatively straightforward kit that can be utilized in many places, as well as help you to go through some of the early Holy Dragon Grounds areas. So overall, we would say he's a very beginner friendly and can be utilized in many places. And that's it from us for today. So if you have a different opinion on Bernavas, please let us know in the comment section down below. And we have other Exo Hero related reviews, please feel free to check those out as well. And lastly, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Peace.